Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Daryl's Dick Meat Corn Dogs.
Hi, I'm Daryl, and you may be asking yourself, why is this guy selling dick meat corn dogs? Ever since our nation was hit with an epidemic of My Little Pony and tight hipster jeans, more men than ever have been dumping their penises off into our nation's landfills.
Oh, it smells like shrimp.
Faced with this growing issue, our team came up with a sustainable way to lift the burden off of our landfills and feed our hungry at the same time. Our dick dogs are dipped in true honey and cornmeal batter for that authentic fairgrounds taste. Don't take my word for it. Here's one of our consumers' testimonials.
Woo! Ever Hornbuckle here, and I just want to let everybody know I've been slinging dick meat corn dogs to my kids for years. It'll mushroom stamp the hunger out of a true cockpiece like Melissa McCarthy. Woo!
Daryl's Dick Meat Corn Dogs. You can't tell that it's dicks.
Probably the only time I will ever be able to say this on our podcast, but good morning from the Good Old Gamers to you. It's the Good Old Gamers podcast. I'm Lyle McClendon. I'm joined, as always, with Mr. Brandon Gentry.
Hey, go fuck yourself, man.
In case you're wondering why we're saying good morning as our usual, opposed to our usual thing, is because it is 3:30 a.m., where we're at right now.
Thursday morning.
Never done this before. We met up at my house at about 2:30, and we've been literally burning witching hour oil.
Mm-hmm. It's August 4th.
It is. You have a Lord 2016.
I feel like I'm working for like a morning zoo radio.
Yeah, something crazy. Like
Rise and shine, Radio Land. You got the time, we got the rhymes.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Pretty much, my work decided to put a cuckolding upon my schedule, and for the next 3 days, I've been put on night shift work.
Yeah.
Work as a contractor, and I'm working at a school, and school started today, so I'm having to go in.
School started back way too early this year.
Kids don't have a summer vacation anymore.
Yeah, not like it used to be.
It's kind of sad.
Just like my face.
Yeah. Well, how are you doing this morning?
I'm making it.
Managing?
Yep.
It's kind of a slow week, but I guess if you want to, we can kick it off as we always do. A little bit of news when you wake up. Good morning, news! I really just do not have a shit ton.
Me either.
One thing that's been big on my mind I did want to bring up, there is a new Ghostbusters game out. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you did. I talked about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a real shitty Gauntlet Legends arcadey looking port.
Except way worse.
Well, it's just been announced that Fireforge Games, the development studio behind said game, has filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy with debts up to $12 million.
I wouldn't doubt that was like the plan the entire time, though.
The game was in development in under 8 months. This is the first like multi-platform big game they've done, and I guess they kind of screwed the pooch along with the new movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's only fitting.
The remake, the movie, it's considered it's pretty much a failure at this point. It's gained enough money to like make its budget back and probably warrant them churning out another sequel to get a quick $100 million. But ha 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 ha! I told you.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent for a porn parody.
Yeah. Are we talking about the same one?
The Boner Factory Films one?
Oh yeah, it was pretty slimy.
It was.
But I mean,
I busted some ghosts on that one.
More than ghosts were busted. The ghosts of teenage years.
Indeed.
Dude, we are dragging slow. We're just not eventful. Sorry, y'all. This Red Bull hasn't kicked in yet. I left my IV drip.
I've been drinking coffee out of my Dave Mustaine coffee cup.
Very nice. I did not notice that earlier.
I used to have a subscription to his coffee thing when he had it. And I got mugs out of it, and it's pretty sweet. But, some more shitty news. Final Fantasy 15 is going to have a season pass with 6 DLC already planned.
My God. You told me this earlier.
It's fucking sickening. Final Fantasy was like always the franchise that you bought it and you had it.
That's like them releasing Final Fantasy 7 now and getting the whole game. They're like, oh, DLC, Golden Saucer.
It's going to happen with the remake. I guarantee you.
Golden Saucer will be the DLC, and Ruby and Emerald Weapon will be DLC.
Yeah. Hey, they're going to DLC the fuck out of it. You're going to go through all this trouble to get the Knights of the Round materia, and then they're like, oh, well, you're going to have to pay $5 on the Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or whatever.
They're just like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I don't know.
It's been a slow week.
Yeah. It's fucking gross, though. Like, why Final Fantasy? That was one of the last bastions of RPGs. You bought it, and you had the whole fucking game.
Well, it's just been announced, too, though, like, within the past couple hours, Square Enix, like, was reporting some of their financial stuff, and they're standing at, like, I think it's 245 million yen loss.
So, like, $5?
Right, yeah. Yen. Pachinko coins.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, I can see why, because they haven't done anything worth mentioning in a while. I mean, they've got a lot of shit in development, but right now the only thing they're putting out is mobile games. And I'm sorry, but the same fucking Final Fantasy mobile game for the 10th time in a row is not going to get you that many more.
Your hardcore fanboys will be getting it, but that's going to be about it. You're not gathering a new audience.
I play the there's a Final Fantasy Record Keeper, I want to say, where you play through like the different Final Fantasy fight scenes of the past. So that was okay. And then they put out like I think Mobius, and there's some other one too. And it's like you're kind of beating the dead horse here.
I really do not play a lot of mobile stuff. The only mobile games I do play are like Flappy Bird or Stacker kind of shit. You know, just I can play for 2 or 3 seconds while I have a break.
Well, speaking of mobile games, Niantic removed Poke Tracking, the footprint feature from Pokemon Go.
I've heard so many people bitching about this
so much,
in person.
So much bitching, whining, gnashing and gnawing of teeth. They cited server issues, and that's probably true, but I'm just like, so many people saying this has removed a major gameplay element from it. I'm like, if removing Marco Polo from your game removed most of the game, it wasn't a fucking game to begin with. There's more goddamn gameplay on the back of a children's menu at Denny's than this fucking game.
Nintendo Power, back when Pokemon Red and Blue were out, did not release fucking detailed schematics of where you would catch, you know, the majority of your shit at.
Yeah.
That's essentially what that's doing. It's cheating. I know somebody that plays Pokemon Go very heavily, and they were bitching unrelentlessly about this a couple days ago, and I'm just like, man, he's like, well, it's ruining the video game, and I'm just kind of like, it's not really a fucking video game.
It's not. There's nothing to it. It's a goddamn stamp collecting. It's digital stamp collecting. Go! Yeah, I'm still fucking salty about that game just because it could have been so much more.
I got off work. I got back into Coleman about midnight tonight, and there were still probably 50, 60 kids at Depot Park playing
I drove by 2 a.m. and it was still full.
Yeah, I told my dad tonight, which is something funny I wanted to get to. Because my dad's very, very redneck, but...
Typical Alabama dad.
Yeah, he's a typical Alabama dad. He likes to hunt and grill and all that shit. Well, he knows what Pokemon loosely is just because of me. Everything he knows about video games. He had a fucking Galaga machine when I was a baby, for fuck's sake. So he plays some games, but he's seen these kids at midnight, and we're driving in from work, and my dad's just like, look at all these kids out here catching Pokemon. He's like, I wish I could catch one. I'd shoot the damn thing. I was like, Dad, there's 151 on Pokemon Go. And he's like, hey, I could catch them all. Kill them all. Gotta kill them all.
Kill them all and let Pokegod sort them out.
Dude, I thought that was so fucking funny. And the other day, too, there was like some kids out there playing. My dad always has something to say. My dad just kind of like rolls the window down and goes, Pokemon sucks! When they're driving by.
I just want to yell, get a job!
He says the same thing. He's like, you need to go catch a job.
Every time, though, I drive by there, like, in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh, look at all these losers doing this. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go record a podcast. So
at 2:30 in the fucking morning.
How much better am I?
We're talking about video games at 3:30 in the morning, chain smoking cigarettes, drinking Red Bull.
Maybe I should look in the mirror before I yell these insults.
Remember, when you point one finger, there's 3 pointing back.
Speaking of Pokegod, I found God. He's at GameStop.
Well, I'm out.
And Pokemon X, Y, and Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, you can go to GameStop and get a DLC code for Arceus, the Pokemon God.
Really?
Until August 24th, you can go claim one.
It's free?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, other than you got to go to GameStop and talk to somebody there, and they're going to be like, "Oh,
can I help you reserve 19 games that don't come out until 2019?
We got a 50 for 1 deal on Wii shovelware. Buy one and get 28 free because I hate my job."
Hey, we got a really funky sale going on the rock candies. Not the kind of rock candies we're looking for, bud.
Oh, shit.
That was a joke. We're meth free on this podcast. And crack cocaine free, I must add.
We're good on heroin, though, right?
We do not do heroin. We may sound like we're doing heroin this morning because we're working so slow.
Well, I didn't get that memo, so I juiced up before I came.
Well, there you have it, folks. Good old drug addicts.
You do got the Pulp Fiction heart needle on you, don't you?
I do.
Okay, I might need
I'll
it later.
stab that motherfucker straight through your sternum. I just want you to say, "Oh, goddamn!" What do you come back to?
Let's see. The original director of Shenmue is coming back for Shenmue 3.
I did see that. That's excellent.
He's not going to be directing, though. It said he's mainly... I don't think he's going to be directing. I didn't see anywhere it said he's going to be directing.
Maybe he's working on the dialogue so we can hear
I was wondering if, now we're going to be asking about sailors again. He said he's mainly there just to, keep the atmosphere feeling natural and kind of like the old Shenmue games did. So, I guess that's good. I can't wait to go ask about some sailors and
where do sailors get tattoos at?
And Chinese people. I got to ask about Chinese people. What do you know about Chinese people?
Hello, dear. That's what I'm ready for.
Yeah.
Hello, dear. Yo. I'm sorry.
Every little capsule toy you get is going to be an achievement in the game. Now that they have achievements.
Maybe I should buy another. No, I'm good for today. Such a polite guy, but whoops so much ass.
Yeah.
Nice guy, though.
Did you have anything else?
Dude, I don't. I don't have shit.
Well, we're looking at starting a Patreon.
Indeed.
So, if you got any suggestions on both patron rewards and, podcast funding goal like objectives, let us know. Some of the things we had in mind were recording the fuckery that goes on before the show and sharing that with our patrons.
There's usually a good 20 minutes worth of skit errors and just weird rambling.
Yep. More giveaways, and that would be something like as we get funding, we do more giveaways. Maybe when we get like $30 a month, we give a T-shirt away. Get it up to like 50 or so. We can start giving away like a good game every month, and eventually, if we got enough funding, we could do a console. But that would all be pending funding. Other subscriber rewards, I had some written up. Other rewards for patrons would be like,
I'll take my pants off.
Give us Lyle will give you a strip tease. You could give us a game to play. Also design a sponsor or even be a guest. Of course, that kind of thing. Because we want to keep the authenticity of our show, we'd have to do that in like a raffle style. So we do like one a month of those things. So, everyone who's met the goal of design a sponsor will raffle off and pick the sponsor. And, we'd have to throw the asterisk in there if we can veto things because we want to keep our show good.
Yeah, indeed.
But more than likely we'll roll with it, though. Just don't be like, tonight's podcast is sponsored by Kmart, because that isn't. You gotta have a little bit of a creative bone in your body. Yeah. It's got to make us chuckle a little bit. But yeah, give us suggestions on that. If you think it's a horrible idea, let us know. If it's a great idea, let us know. Whatever.
Any input that you would give us is highly recommended, because this is something that's ultimately going to be coming from you, the listener. So. Yeah, whatever.
We want to do what you want for it.
Yeah, indeed. Whatever you want out of it, we want to deliver.
And all this, the podcast isn't really expensive, but it does cost us money. So it would help us cover our expenses.
Indeed.
Shipping all these games, which I fucking got to get around to shipping some of them. I've been slacking. I'm sorry for that. But shipping these lame games and stuff, it's not expensive, but it's not free either.
Yeah, and you think about it, you do 4 a month, that it adds up.
Yeah,
but we're not bitching, we're not complaining.
No, we're gonna keep on doing what we're doing, whether you give or not. Just the more funding we get, the more shit we can do. So
indeed,
it'll all be additional content, not DLCing out our original content.
I was fixing to take the words right out of my mouth. I was like, we are not DLCing you.
Yeah.
We're not down low cocking you.
Yes.
I gotta make a note of that. That's officially what DLC around here stands for. Down low cocking.
Yeah, that's it. I guess that's it for news.
Well. We're 20 minutes in, and I'm still not any more awake than I was when we started. That's
me either.
That's also news flash. Late news flash. I guess one thing we want to point out to you is we do have a phone number. We're trying to advertise that a little more now. It's 682-777-GOOD.
Yep, 682 777-4663.
Just in case you forget.
682-777-GOOD. Dial the number, you know you should. Leave us a message, you know it gives us one. 682-777-GOOD.
Yeah, indeed. It's not that hard. You literally got to pick up your phone, call, and leave a message.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
And if you're international, you can email us a recording at podcast@goodoldgamers.com.
That you can. Mm-hmm. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah,
tell us why we're cool. Tell us why we suck ass.
Yep.
Hell, threaten our lives. We don't really care.
Yeah.
Just don't act on your threats. Please.
Or do.
Disclaim. Yeah.
Please. I'm up at 3 a.m. Please just put me out of the measure.
This shit now. instead of Patreon, we're like, help us please. We're actually sitting there like, kill us please.
We're trying to gather the funding for the highest quality noose we can afford.
Those shitty doctors off the Metallica 1 video are like, I think he's saying something.
I think he's trying to say, kill me now, or whatever.
Yeah,
because darkness.
It's Morse code.
Darkness is completely imprisoning me right now.
All I see,
absolute horror. But I cannot live or die, so we're going to continue with the podcast. I guess, though, we can kind of just get into the meat of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't have an Arcade Arcana.
Yeah, your machine's been down.
Yeah.
I thought about, like, firing mine up, but I'll be honest, like, the only thing besides my main game I've been playing is Vindictus still, because they still have events going on. And that's the only way you can fucking gather wealth in that game is, like, take advantage of the events.
Yeah.
So it's ending this week, though, so I'm going to take a break and play some other shit.
I haven't, like, my machine's down, so I haven't played an arcade. I did go to Pints and Pixels the other day for, like, 25 minutes while I was in Huntsville waiting on Emerald. And I literally played fucking Miss Pac-Man the entire time I was there.
Nice.
I got within like 25,000 points of the high score on the board.
Nice.
But hopefully though I get my main cabinet fixed this week. I'm taking that computer out Saturday, and the guy I got the cab from's got me another computer set up.
Nice.
And he told me I could pick it up, and he's going to show me how to set the controllers up while I'm there. So hopefully I can just bring it home, throw the bitch in.
I wish I could have helped you with that, but like I said,
it's corrupted or something.
Yeah, you got a corrupted file in there, and I don't know what version of MAME you got. And there's so many versions of MAME, it is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm literally fucking clueless on that.
That's one thing that, even though as much as a pain in the ass in the woods, I'm glad I set mine up because I know exactly what I need to do if some shit like that happens.
I think what I'm going to do is as soon as I get the computer home and I'm going to at least just plug it up and get the controls working. I'm going to unplug everything then, and I'm going to go ahead while it's kind of, broke apart right now and just try to change some joysticks out too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this weekend. I can get a drill from my dad.
Yeah, it won't be hard to do.
Put them
especially
in.
on your panel. Speaking of, we've spoken of Pokemon Go and Pints and Pixels. They're like one of the few companies I saw doing the Pokemon Go promotions, right?
Yeah, they're doing like bounties.
Yeah, they do bounties. The Pokemon you catch don't have to be caught there; it just has to be caught that day. So they're like, oh, if you catch, a Weeping or a Pikachu or whatever,
like
you can bring it in and show them
tokens.
Yeah, if you bring it in and show them you caught it this day, they'll give you 2, 4, or 8 tokens, I think, with different tiers. And also, if you drop a Pokemon, they got 2 Pokestops there. If you drop a lure there at the waitress, you get 10 or 20 tokens, something like that. So I think it's 20 tokens. So that's a pretty good little cross promotion there.
If you're a decent arcader too, most of those games are set to a token. So other than pinball, and you could. I mean, like I said, I went in there for about 25 minutes and I spent 75 cents.
Yeah.
On Miss Pac-Man the whole time. So and I got real frustrated. I could have kept going for high score, but I died once. Later on, I just got pissed off, kept running to the red ghost, and just started over. Which is kind of stupid, but I was just so frustrated. I was like, I've done broke my momentum. There's no need into trying to recapture this bullshit.
Yeah, I want to throw them a shout out. We like them. Plus, like, out of all the businesses I've been seeing trying to ride this train, they're the only one of the few that did it right.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen so many shitty advertisements like, oh, welcome Pokemon Warriors. I'm like, what?
Oh, dude, it was lunchtime Tuesday, and they were slammed. They were packed. So that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm on board with anything they can do to get by, because I sent a picture to Lyle. One of our local last bastions of arcade cabinets is kaput. I took my daughter to our skating rink. First time I've been there in years. And it's so fucking
We've been
sad.
asking that question for a while, too. Yeah. Neither one of us have been in that skating rink in years. Kind of just like... Because that was our haven for arcades when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like,
they had a lot of classics.
Oh, man, they had some great machines. They had...
I'll never forget that Centipede they had. I put so much time into that one.
Yeah, Operation Wolf.
Wolf.
Simpsons.
RoboCop.
First time we ever beat Simpsons.
Yeah.
I beat RoboCop there for the first time. The Super Nintendo cab they had the jumbo the jumbo SNES controllers.
Yeah.
I think it was loaded with
Super Mario World, F-Zero.
and F-Zero.
Yep.
Oh, that thing was so fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was.
And you know what's really sad is those people that took it over probably sold that thing for a couple $100.
Probably. But yeah, we didn't mention it, but they sold all their cabs, and they replaced it with ticket traps. So you go in there and you throw some tokens into their bullshit ticket machines, and you can go get some shitty pieces of plastic out of their prize shop.
I think the only arcade I seen in that picture you sent me was like a fucking deer hunting game.
Yeah, they got a deer hunting game, which every fucking place in Alabama has.
Terrible.
Big Buck Hunter 16.
Big Buck Hunting 16.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, I don't know if it's a video game or a porn. There's so many of them.
It's sad. Like, I knew right off the bat when you sent me that pictures, I recognized the carpet, and I was like, man, that sucks. Because I'd told Emerald several times, I live right here just close to it, and I'm like, man, if they sell arcade cabs, I'd go pay $5 to get in just to go, play cabinets all night, but not the case.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to beat up Pints and Pixels one weekend when we can get the time just to go.
Yeah.
Because I noticed they got that console room now, and it's $5 an hour to rent.
Nice.
And you can get drink service. I still would like to throw a good old gamers.
Yeah, we need to do something.
Celebration party for us up there and just get drunk.
Yeah.
Hook. I think they have a Super Nintendo and NES and a Genesis hooked up. Play some arcades, play some console. Just chill out and be cool, I guess.
Yeah, just have a little meet and greet. Come drink with this thing.
Maybe we could get Joel down with us when he's passing through. I've been trying to figure out something. Maybe we could do a promotion and get him to come set a record on their Berserk machine. I played their Berserk machine up there, and it's fucking pristine.
Is it?
The highest score on it's 8,000 points.
Oh, Joel would fucking whoop that ass.
Oh, man. It's so pristine. I've got him... Remind me, too, before you leave tonight, to show you the message I got from him, because I still have not done that about everything. But anyways. Do you want to talk about Baldur's Gate first? Because mine's kind of... I can talk about it, but it's going to be more of me just bitching about it.
Well, mine is going to be fairly lengthy. You got a lot of audio. You want to do that at the end or at the beginning?
I'll just go ahead and get mine out of the way. I've been playing Spawn the Eternal for PlayStation 1. And if you've ever played... I've been on a PlayStation 1 kick really, really hard here recently. One reason I didn't have a full game prepared is I'm juggling Resident Evil 3 Nemesis right now, which hopefully I'll have done by next week to talk about. I'm probably about halfway through it now. And anyways, I started playing Spawn yesterday and today. I forgot I even owned it. Haven't played it since I was like 14, maybe. I knew it sucked then. I could never get past the first boss in the level. And I realized tonight, finally, why I can't do that. Spawn came out in 97. It's, there's a Super Nintendo port, and then there was the PlayStation one. The PS1 one, it's kind of like Tomb Raider. It's the behind-the-person, third-person view.
Mm-hmm.
The graphics look like absolute shit. Like, it hurts your fucking eyes because everything's so blocky and pixelated.
Yeah.
And the control is... the control makes Resident Evil play like Mario 64.
Wow.
Like, it, okay, to walk forward, and you cannot use analog sticks. It's all straight D-pad. You press up. But to turn Spawn, you use left and right, and you turn his whole body.
Okay, yeah, I hate
so
those
you got to turn his whole body and
it's
then
like
press
moving
forward.
A tank.
Exactly. And the camera stays behind him at all times. So you'll come to a corridor where you can go left or right. And you can hold down R2 to go in first person mode, but it takes so long to go in first person mode and come back out. You just try to turn and walk, and it'll be a fucking wall here. Then you got to turn him all the way back around and spin the camera back around to get out of there. So it's fucking unnecessary.
It's horsecockery.
The difficulty on this motherfucker. There is a reason. I finally tonight, for the first time ever on this game, beat Overkill. Which, if you're familiar with Spawn, Overkill is like the big green and silver cybernetic asshole.
Okay.
Well, he's the first boss. Well, I guess I should explain combat. You run through the level, and literally, you're fucking spawn. You're a hell spawn. Your fucking job is to deliver souls to hell, to Malbosia. Spawn universe's Satan.
Yeah.
Well, he turns his back, and so you're kind of keeping the peace. Like, you're keeping the evil off of Earth, but keeping heaven from interfering. You're a fucking hell spawn. Spawn can control chains. You know, he has all these crazy fucking supernatural abilities. The majority of this game is you running around and stomping and breaking boxes to find these little fucking orbs that I have still yet to figure out what they do. You find these things called helmets, which is just like spot gloves. By the time I got to the second level and died, I'd found 3 of them. Don't know what the fuck they do. Found these other like spectral orbs. Don't know what the fuck they do. Found a fucking like a cold, like a freezing orb or some shit. Don't know what the fuck it does. I don't know. I just do not fucking know. You go through the level exploring this shit though, and you'll see the enemies are really fucking weird. It's either like some shaft looking motherfucker with like a big fro and like a denim jacket, or it's a white asshole looking dude in a business suit. Those are the only like basic enemies I come across. I don't know why they're hanging out in these shitty alleys and sewers. I don't know why they got such a problem with spawn, but they do. And pretty much when you come across an enemy, it goes into a fighting. It turns into a fighting game.
Really?
You can punch. There's a high punch, a low kick, and a high kick. And with R1, if you tap R1 and left or right, he sidesteps left or right. But if you tap forward or back, he rolls forward or back. Your health on this does not fucking regenerate, and there are very few. I found 1 health power up in 2 levels.
Oh shit.
So you fight your way across this level, and these people are extremely tough. Like, you have to work them over with combos and dodge and roll and anticipate. Kind of like Dark Souls in a way. It's very primitive Dark Souls that you gotta learn when to roll and when to dodge, you know, to be successful.
Yeah.
Well, you work your way through. Like I said, energy health does not respawn. I've never been able to beat Overkill because the first thing, you fight 2 guys before Overkill in the first level, and that's it. You run around breaking boxes and hitting some switches and opening a couple doors. Basic third-person platformer shit. You get to Overkill, though, and one of the first things he usually does is launches this fucking laser out of this cannon on his arm. And, dude, usually by the time you get there, the 2 other bad guys, I couldn't get past them without taking a little damage. You're about halfway down. I was a little below halfway. 2 hits from that laser, 1 hit from the laser and 1 punch from Overkill, you're fucking dead.
Oh shit.
So what I'd ended up doing was I figured out if you roll toward him, he doesn't attack for some reason. I guess it's something in the game. He just kind of sends there, and then if he does swing a punch when you're rolling, you miss it. So all I did was literally rolled him into the back corner of the level and just kept coming up and power kicking the fuck out of him. I'd roll, kick him like 3 times, let him get up, and right when he'd get up and stand up, I'd roll and do it again. Fucking finally beat him. Get to the second level. You're in a goddamn sewer. What the fuck is a hellspawn doing in a sewer? You're in a sewer, breaking through walls, and this is where I got stuck because your health, even when you beat the level, you go to level 2, your health carries over from the first level. And this is where the suck happens, and this is why I didn't get past fucking level 2. There are 2 enemies right off the bat. I killed the first one, and I've literally got 1 hit will kill me. Smidgen of health left. Get to the second guy, and I saved it there. It doesn't matter if you save it or not. It just remembers your health. So if you die and you've got restart and load, you can load it, and it'll load you wherever you saved with whatever health. You hit restart, it restarts you right back at the beginning of the level with the same amount of health. It does not give you a full health bar at all. So the only thing I can figure out is you have to literally try to play through this game without fucking dying once. And I think it is probably goddamn impossible. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm not saying I'm like a world championship gamer, but I know I'm not a bad gamer. I can't figure that shit the fuck out. I literally, before you got here, about broke my fucking TV. I actually have a clip of music from the game, and it sums up the feeling of the fucking game completely. Completely. It is just sounds of, like, agony and hell. You play it forward, it's probably like, ha, you bought this fucking game. Yeah. Now you're eternally damned.
What the fuck? It sounds like something some crunchy organic hippies would like smoke their marijuana pipes and sit around and be like, oh my god, this is so deep.
I don't think I've ever smoked enough weed. If I smoked weed, I'd probably be like, what the fuck kind of invocation are you fuckers trying to pull? Like, then you got other gems such as...
Like, y'all bitches need to hit up Bed Bath & Belial.
No shit. They'd make this nasty-ass Satan house smell a lot better when you're doing this shit. Then you got, like, techno hell jams.
Yeah, I could see them play this in the clubs in hell. This, like...
Blood Raven.
Yeah.
They're all just like, all these little demons are just like butt fucking human souls and just partying and shit. But, so needless to say, Spawn is eternally fucked. Like, it's, and the bad thing is, though, I'm probably going to play through it more and just try to get a little further. I might show you a smidgen of it before you leave, just so you can see the damnation firsthand yourself. But yeah, that's my miniature rant for Spawn. So what you got?
Well,
a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I originally started playing through Baldur's Gate, and I got pretty close to the end of it. And at that point, I was playing a human archer, and I was like, I had been trying to rush through the game because it's like, man, I got to get through this and talk about it. And I'm like, I realized that I was fucking up because unless we were to dedicate an entire show to it, there's no way I can cover Baldur's Gate in one just 20-minute overview.
And you are talking about the original Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah, I'm playing the enhanced edition, but it's still the original Baldur's Gate. So I restarted, and we're going to take this. This is going to be a multi-episode coverage of it. This is my playthrough of it. I'm just going to do, story arc by story arc. The first story arc I'm covering tonight, it's 3 chapters long in the game. Baldur's Gate, it was, I can't remember what year it was released, don't really matter, mid to late 90s, PC game. Overhead, computer RPG, pretty much one that defined the genre almost. And it's definitely the most iconic out of all of them. The graphics are all 2D animation, sprites, all that good thing.
Very Diablo-like, isn't it?
To a degree. It looks really good, even to this day, enhanced edition or not. The enhanced edition is up the resolution basically and did some other changes. One thing I didn't like in the enhanced edition, they added a lot of classes that don't really belong there. Baldur's Gate is based off 2nd edition D&D, and it's fairly faithful to it for what you could do with a video game. You got to roll your stats when you make a character, and it's just like rolling stats back in the day. Except it doesn't show the dice, but you're basically rolling 6d6, 6-sided dice, and every 3 dice is a not every 3, not 6d6. Trying to think of the math. It's too early. Anyways, you roll on the goddamn d6s, and you add them up for your stats. Your stats are classic D&D stats: strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So you can sit there and roll stats from now to eternity, and you're more than likely going to end up with a semi-average to semi-high stats. You could sit there and obsessively do it till you get perfect stats. The stats range from like a total pool of 72 up to 108. anything over 90 is kind of hard to get, the way it averages out. So my second playthrough, because I started with a good human archer, is like, this time I'm gonna go different. Because the characters I was grouping with really weren't that fun anymore. The last time I played through this game, I was like 17, so it's been a minute. So this time I went with a human wild mage named Nigel Cockswallows.
Nice.
So
sounds like a fair companion of Cuckle Grimwallace.
Yeah. I think they've went on a few adventures.
They've twisted wings together.
Yeah. They've had some sword fights in the urinals.
What a wretched place to pull thy saber.
So yeah, I made him as a wild mage. There's all kinds of different mages. Every class has like a shit ton of subclasses to it. And honestly, it's been so long since I played the original game that I couldn't tell you which ones that they've added to the game with the Enhanced Edition and which one they didn't. I know some of the ones they added was a sorcerer, which did not exist in Second Edition. The shaman also didn't exist. And I think there was one more, and there might have been a few subclasses. Second Edition D&D, I respect it. I enjoyed it at one point, but it is fucked. You're pretty much doing general relativity to figure out if you're going to hit or not. So the main thing you got to know for the mechanics of the game is if you're doing any kind of melee or ranged combat, like ranged as in bows and arrows, you want your thought go or to hit at armor class 0 is what it stands for. You want that to be as... What the hell? You got garbage running?
I do believe that is the garbage truck.
Yeah.
It is 4 o'clock in the morning, so that's about right.
You want your armor class as low as possible compared to, third edition and up. You want a high armor class. They went about totally fucking backwards. So you want a 0 armor class is decent in this rule set. Like a negative 3 or 4 is pretty good.
Yeah.
So then you want all the bonuses to your Thalco that you can, and that's really all you want. The rest of it don't fucking matter. Get as high strength and dexterity as you can if you're rolling a character that depends on those stats. One thing they did do in the Enhanced Edition that I don't think they did in the original edition is when you're rolling stats, they made certain classes more favorable to rolling high rolls.
Goddamn dark garbage truck.
Yeah.
It's like scrambling my brain.
Yeah, we'll hold on a second before I get to anything important.
Pause for garbage dump. Pause for garbage dump.
Well, he's got to dump that load of dick meat, corn dog, or the severed dicks, rather.
I can smell the shrimp smell from here. Is that a landfill full of cock you got there?
We can do something with that.
I think so.
Jesus Christ.
I'm pretty... Brandon, I'm looking out of the window. That's not a garbage truck.
What the fuck is it?
That is, I'm pretty sure that's a Daryl's... Yeah, Daryl's Dick Meat Salvage Incorporated.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess he is fishing for dicks out of the dumpster. I know a couple people that could do that.
Wow, the hipster crowd in Coleman has exploded. So I'm assuming we're a gold mine.
The jeans have cut the circulations off, and they just pop like a balloon when you squeeze it.
Yeah,
just out the top.
But yeah, they made it where certain classes roll higher than others, mainly because the old problem of MAD is what it's called. Main ability deficiency, I believe is what that stood for. Basically, like classes like Paladins need strength because they're melee fighters. They need dexterity because, again, they're in the thick of combat. That helps your armor class. They need Constitution because, again, they're in the thick of combat. They need Wisdom for their spells. They need Charisma for their turning abilities and their ability for other Paladin abilities. So really, that's 5 out of the 6 ones that they need. They're kind of fucked. So at least in here, you roll higher with a Paladin than other classes typically. So that lets you get more stats into those things you need. you roll a mage like I did, the only thing you really need is constitution and intelligence. So I had a hell of a time getting a decent score in my roll because the way they adjusted that.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. That's always been a problem in D&D. The newer editions of D&D don't really have that problem, but I don't like 4th edition. I haven't tried 5th yet. 4th edition, everything was the fucking same. You just called it different abilities, and I didn't like that. But yeah, they did compensate for that, so that's good. So when you start your character, you start off as a level 1 in 2nd edition D&D, which means life is fucking rough.
You're the bottom of the barrel, motherfucker, essentially.
Yeah. I gave you a clip. I don't remember what I named it because it's early. Hit the prologue. We're going to start off with the narrator's prologue.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms.
Wow.
It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins.
Nigel
You have
Fox
spent
Wallace.
most of your 20 years of life within this keep's
feel like I've
austere walls.
pushed one of
under
those
the
buttons in an
tutelage of the
exhibit.
Sage Gorion.
Yeah.
Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as
You're not
gently as
my
possible,
fucking kid.
but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
Yeah.
Wow. It's dangerous to go alone.
Yeah, take 100 gold. That's what it gives you.
Shit. Well, that's a nice guy.
So that's the first thing that you go in there and you buy equipment for your character. As a mage, I didn't have to buy jack shit because you start off with a quarterstaff on every character. Actually, I bought a sling and some bullets because I don't like to throw my mage into fucking melee combat with 4 health.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Candlekeep, you start off in there as the narrator said, and it's just a completely enclosed, small fortress, and it's mainly a giant library. If anyone who watches Game of Thrones, like one of the main characters kind of went to a place like this, one of the last seasons, I would guarantee you it's almost heavily inspired by Candlekeep, the way that looked. There's not much to do here. You learn the basics of the game. There's one house where you like fight some illusions that a mage summons for you, teach you the basics of combat. There's all kinds of just small menial tasks. It gives you a little bit of starting gold, some minor XP. Leveling up in this game at the beginning is a bitch. Your first couple levels take a while, but then as the game ramps up, they come fairly quick. So I'll go ahead and say that the level cap in this game, I think, is level 12 or 13, which is pretty respectable in terms of D&D. It will take, if you were to do legitimate XP dish outs in a game of D&D, it will take you years to reach that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do all these minor tasks here. You go fetch a sword for one of the guards. Go get an antidote for this guy sick cow. Go find a lost book for this lady. Go get a scroll for this mage. Those kind of things. This basic ass, hey, learn how this game works type quest. Once you get done with that, you go to meet your your adoptive father, Gurion, in the middle of Candlekeep. And on your way there, your lifelong friend, Emowyn, comes up and meets you. And she's like, oh, hey, you going out? I wish I could go. And you're given a number of different dialogues, options you can choose from. But no matter what you choose, whether it's like, hey, I'll ask Gurion if you can come, or you tell her to bugger off, she's pretty much, well, I can't go with you anyway, so it's been nice knowing you, and that kind of thing. She comes into play not too long after this. So you leave with Gurion, and he tells you that pretty much you're in some serious shit, but he doesn't tell you what. He tells you that you go into the Friendly Arms Inn to meet some friends, and if anything happens, get the fuck out. Yeah, it says he tells you, if we ever separated, head to the Friendly Arms Inn. He's got some friends named Khalid and Jahira there. And immediately after leaving the Candlekeep, the night after you leave, you get ambushed by an armored figure. And the armored figure tells Gurion to hand over your word and I'll let you live. So it's obvious he's not after Gurion. He's after you. He's after you. And so Gurion tells you to run, and you see a little fight scene happen. And Gurion, you find out, is quite the badass mage. There's like 5 or 6 guys, and he lays waste to all but 2 of them. The last 2 guys kill the fuck out of Gurion, though. And I get a little clip there for the narrator for his death.
The dawn is especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.
Perhaps the friend you seek at the Friendly Arm is a Schlossberg.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of speaking to me as an adult.
Yeah, no shit. Give all your worries to someone else. End your life.
Oh, shit.
It's terrible.
You know, something I completely forgot to mention in the Faerunian time span, the history of Faerun. This takes place a little after the Time of Troubles. Do you know what the Time of Troubles is?
Not a clue.
Time of Troubles is when Mister, the god of magic, was killed, and all the gods were sentenced to walk as mortals for a while. Some serious shit happened then. Some of the gods got killed. One of the biggest ones is Baal, the god of murdered, got murdered. So
by the god of irony, I hope.
And that comes into play very heavily in the story. I won't give it away because I'm going to cover it over the next couple episodes, but it does come into play a lot. Time of Troubles is also when Elminster, the mage of Faerun, and that's when he kind of came to be. He was a mage before then, but he harbored Mystra, or the essence of Mystra, basically, in him for a while, and that's when he became like the fucking guy. So, very, very big time, very, very important time in history for the Faerunian setting.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, immediately after you hear that, it comes to your character. It's daytime again. You're a little ways away from where all that shit happened, still on the same little map. And your friend Emowyn comes out, and I fucking hate her voice. I didn't even bring clips of her. But she joins you. She's like, hey, I figured you needed help. I snuck out. She's a thief, so it kind of fits your character. She snuck out, and she joins with you. And it's good to have people in your party in this game. You can have up to, I think, 5 other party members, so for a total of party 6. You need them because Baldur's Gate gets tough. Especially if you're playing it on the normal or core rule set. The core rule set especially, because when characters die, they die forever.
permadeath.
Yeah, normal rule set, you can bring them back, and that's what I played on because I'm doing this with somewhat limited time. So
Yeah.
she joins you. I started traveling north, and at this point, I come across Montaron and Zara the Mage. It's obvious just meeting these two guys right up front that they're ne'er-do-wells. They're not the most kind people you could come across. Zara, who's more or less the figure of the both of them. If you try to talk to Montaron first, he's like, bugger off. You talk to Zara and you actually get into a conversation with him. Zara offers you some healing potions, and he says, nothing to fear from these simple potions, and I'll not even hold you in debt, though your conscience knows otherwise. So basically he's like, I know if I give you these, you're going to feel like you owe me. So
Yeah. I seen you stranded back there. I stopped to help you change your tire. Perhaps I could fuck your wife in the
yes.
in the front seat afterwards.
And then Montaron adds, just like all good people. And they tell you that they offer to join up with you, and they say they're heading up to the town of Nashville to investigate the iron mines because they've heard there's trouble out there. And you got a number of options. I said, yeah, okay, that's cool. I need to go to the Friendly Arms Inn first, and they tell you, all right, well, as long as we get to Nashville, that's fine. This as the meta game a little bit. Montaron, he's a dual class character. He's a fighter and thief. He's not bad at either one of them roles. You really need to equip him well if you want him to be a frontline fighter because he's not built for it. Zara is a necromancer. He's a specialized mage that his school specialty is necromancy. Zara is by far the more interesting character and one of my favorite characters in this game. I brought in a couple minutes of sound clips from him I want you to play because he's a schizophrenic, and you can tell very easily from this clip. Yeah.
This one?
Yep.
Montaron, you are so aggravating. 'Tis disturbing to my demeanor.
Mommy, I'm scared.
I am become death, destroyer of worlds. I'm starting to find this group almost palatable. Must we be so insufferably charitable? I'll not tolerate any more of this benevolence. I can take this no longer. May you all die cold, miserable deaths. Farewell! A wise choice for leader. I tire. I'll be much more agreeable with rest, much as I enjoy these moments of repose. Get a move on it!
What a pissy bitch.
I don't feel too good.
The trees move. Do you not see it?
A cutthroat in every alley. But I'll not let them take us alive!
Oh, I'm never quite so comfortable as when I'm at least 6 feet under. I've never liked the sunlight. 'Tis just too bright. I wanted infravision like the elves. But 'tis more than just taking their eyes. Something your voice is ambrosia.
Stop touching me!
If I must, I could do no other. Hardly worth my time. Tell me about the rabbits.
Those the gods wish to destroy, they first make mad. Mad! Mad!
Is this all the same guy?
Yeah.
Ate his liver
He's
with
a
nice
schizo.
Chianti and some fava beans. Your grandmother to suck eggs.
Tell us a story, Monty. Something with bears and gold.
Ha ha there, Montaron. Quite the fight, eh, chum? Oh, come on, Montaron, lighten up. Must you be so moody all the time? Why must you goad us into other people's concerns? Can you not just let us mind our own enterprise? I begin to see your true nature, and 'tis as I expected. None are as insufferably righteous as harpers. Oh, speak no more, lest ye gorge my sweet tooth. I'll not be mocked, thou most slanderous harlot. Oh, yes, The chatter of friends and compatriots. Does it not warm the cockles?
Could we cease the incessant noise?
It is such a pain behind the eyes. Smiles, everyone. Smile.
This is like some great fantasy.
I know dragons with feet like rabbits. 'Tis true, I swear. I suppose I should feel a sense of loss. How unfortunate. I don't care. Montaron, I never loved you.
I love that so much.
Well, my cockles are certainly warmed.
Yeah, it's so many great moments with that character, and this is the banner that goes back and forth. It's hard for me to give him up. It's another thing in this game. It's got kind of a good and evil system. Montaron and Zara are obviously evil. Imowen, she leans towards good, but she won't leave your party for any reason. Montaron and Zara, if you're too good, they'll leave you. Also, if you group with, particularly up ahead, Khalid and Jaheira, they'll eventually come to battle. Your party members, if they don't get along, they'll fight each other eventually. And so they have to agree with your actions, or they'll leave, or otherwise attack you or other party members. So it gets tough if you're trying to be a neutral character and balance good and evil. This playthrough, I went through as an evil character. I think I mentioned that before. But until I got the party members I wanted, I tagged along with some good characters. Imowen to begin with. After I got Montaron and Zara, we and went up to started going forward to the Friendly Arm Inn. An old man approached me, and I'm going to go ahead and give it away. It's Elminster. You don't know that at the beginning. The reason I want to give away is because how I figured this out the first time I played the game, I'll never forget it. At this point in time, I was kind of enamored with the freedom of Baldur's Gate. You can attack any character. Very new in the 90s, you know.
That was a big thing. Oh, you can kill the shopkeeper and shit?
Yeah.
I could run around this whole game and just murder people.
So I saved, went to the next map, and like Elminster talks to you immediately. So I'm like, I'm going to kill this fuck. And I tried to kill him, and oh my fuck. You do not kill Elminster. Elminster kills you. I've cheated my character to try to kill Elminster, and you have to cheat the fuck out of him to do it. You pretty much have to all but enable God mode to do it. Elminster fucks your shit up. Even this is magic missiles. He shoots 1 million of them motherfuckers at you. He fucks you up. That's how I realized, like, oh, this isn't just some random old man. But yeah, he asks of your situation and gives you some really just vague old manish advice, and that's kind of how Elminster operates. He doesn't say, "Hey, you should probably stop doing that." He's like, things might not turn out so good if you keep on this path, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he gives you directions to the Friendly Arm Inn, which you already know is north. So I went to the Friendly Arms Inn, and it's not like an inn you would think. It's actually a fucking fortress. You pass through the gates. The guards tell you, common sense is the law in Friendly Arms Inn. It's the rule of law or something like that. They have some saying like that. Where basically, don't fuck around. We won't fuck with you.
Yeah.
As soon as you get to the steps, though, a mage assassin approaches you, and he's like, "Hey, I know who you are. There's a bounty on you. I'm gonna fuck you up." And you have to fight him. If you're lucky, you can pull some guards into the fight. It's not a hard fight either way, especially if you took along Montaron and Zara with you. A lot of you can make some handiwork out of them. As a mage, one of the best spells you can learn is sleep. Sleep fucks some shit up. And it does exactly what you think. It puts shit to sleep.
Yeah.
So, but him, I think this time, I just put him to sleep, and then we pretty much coup de grace him with a rock.
Canadian style.
Yeah. Sleep saved me out of so many fucking jams in this game. Because there's a lot of times you'll come into this a sudden encounter and you're way outnumbered. I'm like, okay, well, I'll put a sleep over here, and like 5 guys fall down. And like, then I can take care of the guys still standing up and send like one guy over there just to casually kill all the guys sleeping, because it don't take much when they're asleep. They can't defend themselves. But yeah, we took care of the mage, and you can get a little bit of the backstory to the Friendly Arms Inn by talking to one of the waitresses there. She tells you it's an old fortress that was the hold of a priest of Baal during the the god of murder during the time of troubles. So the owners Bentley and Galena, they destroyed him when Baal died. It weakened the priest, so they managed to destroy him, and then they just took this place over and made it the Friendly Arms Inn. You also hear about the troubles with iron in the region. One of the patrons there is bitching about his tankard and fork bending easily and warping, and you find out that all the iron in the area has been tainted, like it just crumbles and is weak. No one really knows why, but and it leads to Nashkill, where Czar and Monteron are wanting to go. So you found that out, and went and talked to Khalid and Jahira. Jahira is a half-elf fighter / druid. She's dual class, and Khalid is a half-elf fighter, and he's probably the biggest pussy of a fighter in the game. I didn't bring any clips of him. Not much need to. He is the most pansy-ass fighter I've ever seen. He's
a bitch hog.
Oh, yeah. Jahira is way better than him in almost every respect. But just his character, too. He frightens easily, so he'll just run away during battle. It's no joke.
Oh, no, run away!
And, like, one of his battle cries is like, my heart's not really into it.
I'm sorry, I'm a pussy.
Yeah. But they were friends of Grian, and they tell you that Grian wished them to become your guardians should he pass on or something bad happen to him. But they're like, well, you're basically an adult now, so it's your choice. And I chose to bring him along because I wanted a full party because I know how this game is. Even though they're good, and I was eventually going to dump them, like, all right, tag along for now. Yeah. They also suggest, hey, we should go to Nashville to find out what's going on with this iron shit. So I explored the rest of the Friendly Arms Inn. I know there's one quest giver in here I remember to avoid completely. He asks you to go kill an ogre and get a belt off of him. And I do what he wants me to do, but I don't get the quest, so I don't have that in my journal nagging me to go back to give him the belt. Because the belt's way more valuable than anything he gives you. He gives you like 100 gold, and the belt's worth hundreds. And magical belts aren't the most common thing in Baldur's Gate anyway, so I skipped that guy. But there's another one, I think it's a gnome named Landrin. She's on the 3rd floor of the Friendly Arms Inn. She wants to go to Baragost, another town just north of Nashville, to clear spiders out of her basement and bring her husband's old boots and a bottle of wine back. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. That goes on the back burner for a while. Let's see. After that, I slept in the Friendly Arms Inn, and it kind of already this early shows you kind of how much adventures make and successful adventures make in Baldur's Gate. To sleep in the royal rooms in an inn, this one included, is only 8 gold, and you end up like in my first time I played through this when I was going back from my archer. Before I quit, I had like 20,000 gold. Mm-hmm. So I'm sleeping in goddamn penthouses for 8 gold a night. So
hell yeah,
yeah. In D&D terms, I think a commoner or a peasant they make like a gold or 2 a year. So the fact that I'm walking around with 20 grand is fucking impressive.
You're fucking Ronald Lump.
Yeah, and
just kicking babies in the head and robbing people.
Yep. And I'll bring that up here in a little while too. There's another instance where that comes into play. So we went south to go to Nashville. I went and found that ogre that I mentioned. Again, cast sleep on him. Normally an ogre will fuck your shit up, but cast sleep on him, kicked him to death. Got his magic belts. One of those belts it's another first time playthrough thing for me. One of those belts is a cursed belt. If you don't identify the belts, you don't know what they are. Identify either costs you 100 gold at certain NPCs, or you gotta cast a spell identify on it. One of them, I don't recall what it does. It's a decent belt. The other one, though, is the belt of masculinity and femininity. It reverses your gender. So if you put it on your character, if you're a guy, it makes you a girl.
That fucking belt would come in so much handy in times right now.
Oh, yeah.
That would be like a fucking game changer.
Of course, the thing is, it's cursed. So without a priest to cast Remove Curse, you're stuck with it. It don't come off.
Curses.
I don't want to curse with the vagina.
Yeah, you get a point. Oh, what a terrible curse to have. Find myself diddling myself all day.
I played with that thing enough. Like the first time I played this thing back in the day, that I just sell it once I identify it because it sells for a decent amount. I think like 150, 200 gold, something like that. It doesn't really do a whole lot. It doesn't really change the characters you put it on that much, besides it's making their sprites different. One of the characters who I skip in this playthrough, Edwin, when you play Baldur's Gate 2, you find that he has been cursed with that. I think it was Elminster turned him into a woman, and I don't know, it's just funny because he's super pissed about it in that game. But anyways, went to Baragost, the first major town you encounter, and one of the first characters I came across was a new character they had in Enhanced Edition, Nira. She is another wild mage, which I am too, but she's being hunted by the Red Wizards of Thay for being a wild mage. And the Red Wizards of Thay are some bad motherfuckers. They're led by Zostom, one of the most powerful characters in Faerun. He's a lich. And there's no good things happening in Thay. The Red Wizards are looking to basically dissect her to figure out what makes her a wild mage and how all this shit works. The main guy who you encounter, he starts casting a spell, and just by plot luck, I guess you call it, she teleports him away, and the teleport's like way out of her league. Wild magic works like that. Sometimes just random effects happen. Just happened to be teleports him out, so you don't get raffle stomped. So you got to deal with the remaining guys, and Sleep took care of them again. And killed him. She wants to join your party. I'm like, okay, you can join my party, but you got to fuck off because I got 6 people. So that's what I do to most characters.
You can come in, but you immediately got to fucking leave.
Yeah, that's what I do for pretty much every character you come across and wants to join my party. I'm like, yeah, you can come, but you got to fuck off, because that way you always have the option of adding them to your party again later. If you just tell them no, they're gone usually. So it's best just to brush them off. You also another easy quest here. You meet one of the guys who you did a small task for in Candlekeep, the Firebead Elvenhair. He's like, oh, I got a job for you. I need you to find this book for me and bring it to me. I'm really interested in it. It's literally directly across the street from his house in an inn. You can go buy it for 5 gold, turn it in for like 150, 200 gold, and a lot of experience. I'm like, sucks to be you. Thanks, guy.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
I gained another one of my permanent party members here. There's a shop run by a dwarf named Kagan, or Kagan. I think it's Kagan. He runs a escort service for caravans to protect them. Caravans go between from one of the other major cities of to Baldur's Gate, and he hires basically mercenaries to protect them. He said one of them went missing with the son of a nobleman, and he wants to go find it. Asked if he can join you. I let him because he's a good tank. I kicked out Imowin for him. Just fuck Imowin. I already had a thief in the form of Montagon. So I slept and got all my shit done there. Got new gear, that kind of thing. One of the inns, I can't recall which inn, don't really matter, encountered you go in one of these inns in Baragost, and a guy named Marl confronts you. He's angry about his son dying, trying to be an adventurer, and he's like, fuck you, adventurers. You come into our towns, you fuck up our local economies with your treasure, and that's what I was talking about earlier with being that I'm walking in this town with enough gold to fucking buy it 3 times over.
Yeah.
So that's something you don't see much about in D&D is how much that could fuck over your town. You just come in and you're like, hey, innkeeper, here's 5,000 gold. More money than this whole town will see in 300 years.
Yeah.
Completely fucks your shit up. So I thought that was interesting. So that can go about in several ways. You can poke him in the eye with a stick, basically, and he tries to fight you and dies because he's a fucking peasant. Or, which, that's what I did. Or you can buy him some drinks.
Fuck that.
Yeah. That's the reason I got more gold, because I don't buy fucks like you drinks.
I'm not a kind-hearted pussy.
That's pretty much what I told him. Maybe if your son wasn't a pussy, he wouldn't be dead. Then you try to fight me.
It's population control, motherfucker.
So I traveled south to Nashville after that, and on the way there's a Flaming Fist patrol, and the Flaming Fisters like it's an organization all along the Sword Coast. They kind of uphold the law, and generally good guys. But they stop you and they're basically interrogating you to find out if you're a bandit. And because I'm evil, I'm like, hey, fuck you ain't got no right to do this. So I fight them.
So you fist them.
Yeah, I give them the Flaming Fist. And again, sleep wipes them out. And even as a good character, I often do this because they all have plate mail. Plate mail is really fucking expensive. So that's 3 sets of plate mail that I can equip my characters with for free. I think it might have been a magical sword or two, some gold. Helmets is another thing. Also, along the way, encountered some hobgoblins and some slain people. As you travel, you encounter more and more like monsters like hobgoblins and gibberlings and bandits. Everything's kind of in turmoil in the Sword Coast. Anyway, you get to Nashville, and Barteron, one of the guards there, tells you that the iron mines is rotten. Like, all the iron coming out there is rotten. And he already knew that, but there's talk of demons in it. And then he also tells you that their commander, Brage, I believe is how it's pronounced, he killed his wife and children in a rage one night and ran off. And I don't know if I've ever finished that quest. I don't know much about that one. But I go there and I sleep since I got in fights along the way. And I need to refresh my HP and spells and all that good shit. And you have a dream there. You want to hit dream number 1?
You do not dream often, but tonight the visions are vivid indeed. Long have you walked, but now you find yourself back amidst the stones of Candlekeep. Your former home looms before you, but the gate is closed and barred. Over the walls there is a candle in your old room, but as the light goes out, the brick surrounding the window closes together. The very walls conspire to keep you at bay. A familiar voice startles you. Though it is calm and caring, you cannot go back this way, child. You must go on. Gorion forms before you. Though his image should be comforting, it seems but a shade of his living self. He is dead in your dreams, as in life. The phantom of your foster father gestures toward the blackness of the wood, as though it should be inviting.
God damn it.
Perhaps it is, in a way, but the traveling will be hard. As you think this, a smooth and obvious path becomes clear out of the corner of your eye. It seems meant for you, pulls at your very being, and promises to quickly lead you away from the life you once led. Perhaps this would be for the best, but it is a bit too convenient for your liking. You do not wish to dwell upon the loss you have endured, but neither should it be forgotten. Gorion smiles and fades away. The pull becomes a push, but you turn away, steadfast in your new direction. The way is not quite as clear, but it is sure to be interesting nonetheless. A whisper follows as you stride away, something vestigial and sinister that you recognize, but yet have never heard. You will learn. You don't look back.
Dun dun dun.
The plot thickens.
So yeah, there's a lot of foreshadowing in these dreams. After that dream, you learn Cure Lot Wounds, which tells you there's something amiss if you know D&D, because I was a mage. Mages don't have cure-light wounds. And you learn that as any character. If you're a fucking fighter, a thief, you get that ability, cure-light wounds. So that's normally a cleric-only ability. People who have ties to gods. Dun, dun, dun. Talk to the mayor here, Baron Gaskill, and he welcomes you and pretty much says, hey, shit's going down at the mines. Go help us out. And you're like, okay. Another encounter here, there's a fat man named Oblick, and he's like, hey, I got that reward for the bounty for you. I'm like, yeah, I killed the guy. I need the money. It's okay, here's 200 gold. And later on, I'll just go ahead and wrap this little side story up. After you go take care of the mines and come back, you talk to him again, and he's like, fuck you. Yeah, I got my ass chewed out because of you and all this kind of shit. And it kind of fucks you because there are some bounties you can get, and he'll pay you decently for it. So, in a way it fucked me, in a way it didn't, because I'm like, okay, well, fuck you fat fuck. I waited till there's no guards around, and I killed him, took all of his gold.
You put a fucking jihad on him.
Yeah, I did. I put a hell of a jihad on him.
He'll put a jihad on you, too.
Because, I think I wrote it down here. I killed him and got like, I think it's like 2,000 gold. There's a lot of fucking gold I got off that fat fuck. Well, it don't really matter. It was a lot of gold I got off from killing him. More than if I would have like went out of my way to actually do these quests that he was going to pay me for, just kill him and take it.
Nice.
One of the joys of being an evil character.
That's American as fuck.
Also, while exploring the town, one guy I completely forgot about, there's a commoner or farmer named Nuber. And he keeps constantly following you and talking to you. He just goes, hey, and he then tells you some stupid one-liner like, killed any monsters? Hey, I'm Nuber. Hey, what are you doing? Just constantly. So I just lured him out, killed him with no guards around. Fuck you. Also in these fields, another secret I remembered, there's a Ankh plate mill out here, which is really good plate mill. It's really light, so it's good for low strength characters to be able to wear plate mill. In a way it sucks because it doesn't have any magical enchantments on it, and it blocks you from using certain ones, but at the same time it's damn good plate mail that low strength characters can use, so it's good to get. A character I skipped over completely here but I wanted to talk about him some anyways. I normally get him on my good playthroughs. Is Minsk. Minsk is a ranger who's really closer to a barbarian. He uses a two-handed sword and has rage, all that kind of stuff. He's here and he wants you to help him go find his woman/boss Dinah here. But he's interesting because he's also kind of mentally ill without the kind of part. He carries with him Boo, the miniature giant space hamster, and normally you have these 3 quick slots on all your characters that you can put potions and shit in. Well, on him, one of his is permanently taken up by Boo. If you try to move Boo, it squeaks and it tells you like Boo ran away from you or whatever. But go ahead. He's got a lot of interesting clips and play with all the other characters. Yep, Minsk.
Stand and deliver. That my hamster might have
that guy's done a lot of voices. I can't think of his name.
Spare not.
He does the voice of the mask in the new Splatterhouse game.
Blindly on. Go for the eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes. Rusk! Camaraderie, adventure, and steel on steel. The stuff of legend. Right, Boo? Yes, Boo. I agree. This group could do with a swift kick in the morals. If I continue with this, I'll never look Boo in the eyes again. Choose carefully. I'll not let this come to pass. You have stepped beyond the line of evil. Taste hamster justice. Magic is impressive. But now, Minsk leads. Swords for everyone. I must rest. I have a bad case of armor chafe. My hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure. I need aid soon, lest my hamster become an orphan. Boo likes the force. Evil round every corner. Careful not to step in any. Nighttime. Good for sneaking up on evil. Cool one, sir. You point, I punch. Less talk, more fight. Butt kicking for goodness. Squeaky wheel gets the kick. Full plate and packing steel. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Watch it. I'm huge. When the going gets tough, someone hold my rodent. There be safety in numbers. And I am 2 or 3 at least. Make way, evil. I'm armed to the teeth and packing a hamster. It is as you would have it. It is my sworn vow to ensure your every need is catered to. Where Dinah hair goes, so goes my blade. Lay a finger on what I protect, and forevermore you will answer nature's call with a hook. Stand you not too close. Dinah hair is under my protection. Oh, play on, Bard. 'Tis sweet music to my furry friend. I take no offense from your comments. You just don't understand the bond I have with Boo. Your words are as sharp as my blade, though not half as shiny. Ooh, shiny. I am of few words and fewer hesitations. Warnings passed, and now you die. You travel with Minsk, you toe the line. I'll not suffer slackers while I'm busy heroing. Boo does not like your manner. Away with you. Choose your friends wisely. Not all are as trustworthy as Minsk and Boo. No finer a place to die than the battlefield. Dinah, no! You will be avenged!
I love Minsk. And he's a damn good fighter, too. He's got pretty much maxed out strength, and he's just badass. But I'm evil, though, and he's good, and he will fuck your shit up if you do evil shit around him. He don't put up with it. Or
his hamster.
Yeah, or Boo. And it's something like, even if you play the game and you never even encounter Minsk, and when you try to quit the game, it says, "Are you sure? Boo will miss you." Yeah, I went on the Nashville mines, and you talked to some miners through there, and they're basically, there's demons in the lower levels, and you find out that these demons are actually kobolds, and on the way to the mines, you get waylaid by bandits, and I don't recall if this guy is in the original game or not, but these bandits are named Sinjak and Dorothy or Tia. Anyways, they attack you, or they try to take your shit, and when you don't give them your shit, they attack you. But as soon as they start to attack, some guy comes up behind them and helps you fuck their shit up. His name is Dorn, and like I said, I don't know if this guy's in the original game or not. I don't recall, but he's a half-orc blackguard, and blackguards are basically evil paladins. They're Batman.
Nice.
Or more evil Batman, I should say. Yeah, he helps you kill him, and he explains that those two betrayed him, and they left him in a Luskan prison, and he's out for vengeance against the other 2 or 3 bandits that betrayed him too. And I put him in my party, and I gave the boot to Khalid and Jahira at this point. He's like, y'all are goody 2-shoes. Y'all are going to come to fight with Dorn and Zar and Monteron. So yeah, I'm down to 5 members at this point, but it was worth it because Dorn's a badass fighter too. He has blackguard abilities to steal health and that kind of thing. But yeah, we entered the mines. So yeah, a miner named Gore tells you his friend named Rufy, which I think is probably friends with Bill Cosby, barely escaped with his life after the little demons jumped out of the walls and chased them down. Another miner mentions that other adventurers came and died here, trying to figure all this shit out. But yeah, you find out that the demons are actually kobolds, and you encounter a lot of damn kobolds in here. Kobolds and traps, because that's another thing kobolds are known for. They're kind of crafty. As I went through the mines, eventually you come across a trail of bodies, and that's usually a good clue. Start following the trail of bodies. That led me down to level 3. This is where I met another mage who's actually a neutral human mage. His name is Zan, and I don't keep him around for long because I already have 2 mages in my party, but I got an empty spot. He'll come along for now. He is very depressed and cynical. When you command him to do something, he'll be like, "We're all doomed." Shit like that. Everything's like, yeah, well, whatever.
We're fucked anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Check the map. Well, the map says we're fucked.
Yeah. But yeah, he comes along for now. He wants to get his Moonblade, which Moonblades are magical blades that like choose an owner, and it chose him for whatever reason. Another reason I don't really like him because it's a melee weapon that he's kind of bound to, and I don't like my mages to get into melee for obvious reasons. You encounter a guy here named Molohay, who's the leader. He's a half-orc who is using the kobolds to taint the ore with these odd potions that you find. Got a big fight with him. He ends up summoning or calling in all these skeletons and kobolds in behind you. But with a couple castings of sleep, no fucking problem. Gotta fucking love sleep. That'd be nice to not.
I'm praying for some right now. I'm on 24 hours right now, and I got to be up in 6 hours.
Oh shit! Yeah, this is going on long, but I'm about done though. You kill Molohay, you get later. You loot him. He has some nice shit, but he's got some order letters from Tazok and the Feldapost Inn in Baragost. So that's your next big clue, and that's the end of the first major arc of Baldur's Gate. You've kind of solved a bit of the Iron Crisis, and I went back to town, slept at the inn, and I had another dream. We'll close out with that dream.
Another dream.
You were startled out of sleep with a chill, though the night is warm and calm. It is though someone has walked across your grave, and for a moment you wonder if it was you. With this thought, the ground beneath you opens, and you are swept into the dark. When light returns, you do not find its presence comforting. Before you lay the empty mines of Nashkel, cleansed by your previous passage. You move through walls and floors alike, descending deeper and deeper, until a bloated figure comes into view. Molohay, in no better shape than you left him, stands motionless before you. Held from whatever afterlife calls it, this foul apparition has been waiting for you. A dagger of bone hovers before it, ready for a willing hand to drive it deep. Had this creature breath, you are sure it would be hurling curses. It waits for the kill, a death beyond death, and knows no hope. You turn your back on the blade, and it clatters to the floor. Punishment enough shall find this creature in the land of the dead. You need not inflict any more upon him. Surprised and thankful, the visage of Molohay hobbles forward and through you, off to whatever fate it deserves. Perhaps for safekeeping, it leaves a part of itself behind. It is a spark of hope that fills a space within you, a dagger-shaped hole you did not know was empty. There is a cry of rage from the depths, and the dagger of bone launches itself through the air. Your heart, its target. You awake just as it should have struck, and the cold sweat that covers you stings your eyes. A disapproving voice lingers in your ears, though it should have disappeared with the dream. You will learn.
And after that dream, you also get another ability. It's a minor drain ability. It's a still life ability. So again, regardless what class you got, it's an ability you shouldn't learn.
Something majorly useful.
Yeah. Well, it's semi-useful. The main thing is, like, you shouldn't be learning these things, but you are. That's today's entry into Baldur's Gate.
Very
I imagine
nice.
I can probably wrap it in 2 or 3 more episodes.
Very nice.
And do it proper justice. I went back and listened to our Zombies Ate My Neighbor wrap up, and I didn't like that. I didn't do it good enough job. So I want to do Baldur's Gate right. It's not something you just rush through.
Yeah, I agree. Harkens back to the Earthbound episode. Just there's certain games where you literally want to savor like every little detail too.
Yeah.
Very good. Let me see. I'm having some issues with my interwebs, but I do believe this is going to work. Okay. It's time for that special news segment. Me and Brandon, you may know a little more about it, just considering you lived more in the area.
Yeah.
But I've had a couple of experiences for tonight's. Well, Yes, True Tales from Alabama. And I'm about to sweeten the honey pot with something. Just as soon as this despairing hymn fades away. Okay, Brandon. Who and what are we talking about tonight?
Dirty Sally.
There was an old woman known as Dirty Sally. She found a young outlaw wounded in the valley.
I'll turn it up some.
She nursed him and she cursed him and she taught him right from wrong. She was quite a feisty old gal, this Dirty Sally. Dirty Sally. Dirty Sally.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that. It's no to the Dirty Sally. The dirty.
She was a grandma.
It's pretty good.
He was the son she never had.
Yep.
And
Well,
together they hit the trail.
apparently there's a famous Dirty Sally off of television I had no idea about until
Really?
searching out Dirty Sally today. There used to be a woman that lived down close to Brandon who the local lore called her nickname was Dirty Sally.
Yeah, crazy old bitch.
She is was real crazy.
Yeah.
She's no longer with us, but
I'm assuming so.
She used to have a trailer down by the road, like literally right in front of some railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And she didn't have the first door on her trailer.
No, and she
right?
lived, there were no doors, and she lived with a bunch of dogs.
In and out constantly.
A horde of fucking dogs. And, now that I've gotten older, looking back on it, it's kind of sad. But as a kid, like, she was a fucking bitch. She would cuss you when you walk by her, because, as kids.
Me and you were standing in the front yard one time, and she just, like, literally comes, like, out of some fucking bushes.
Yeah.
And, like, we just, we knew the local neighborhood lore, so we knew who she was, and she just immediately looks at Brandon and is like, you got any cans? I just remember, like, not knowing what to fucking do. And just being like, well, goddamn, do you got any cans to give her? And you're like, we ain't got any fucking cans right here. She would, like, there was all kinds, there was all kinds of those, like, schoolhouse rumors. Because she had an old-ass bathtub that used to set out in the front yard. And I remember kids around school like, Dirty Sally never bathes until it rains.
Yeah.
On that bathtub.
She looked like it, too.
Hence the nickname.
Yeah.
It's terrible, I guess, because I'm sure mental illness probably was involved. That makes us fucking garbage ass people.
But at the same time, she was such a bitch to us as kids, though. I've seen her. She didn't do it to me, but I've seen her fucking attack people with her cane.
It's kind of like a Blair Witch that just gave up hope. She's like, I'm tired of fucking haunting these woods. I'm gonna haunt the shit out of this doorless trailer. I'm
just gonna spend the rest of my days watching Jerry Springer and
yelling at the neighborhood kids. What a simpler life it is.
I think she got most of her money off of collecting cans, like you mentioned, aluminum cans. She kind of did the service for the neighborhood in that way. But I do remember as a child, my parents gathering up canned food around Christmas to give her, and she used them as steps to her trailer. Like we gave her like the big boxes full of canned food. She just set them out and used them as steps. So. I don't fucking know what was.
Hey, whatever works, man. Like, whatever fucking works, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my god. I wish I would have known this before tonight, so I wrote some shit down.
I didn't think about it until today. I was like, because it was such a random episode. I was like, Dirty Sally might be good to talk about. Why not?
I remember fishing in the swamp down there, and she walked by, and she was like, "You better be careful. I've seen people dying there." I was like, "Okay, was you involved?
were you helping them dump the bodies on the other side?" Like, I seen people die there. What kind of fucking shit is that?
I know, that 12. I'm like, okay, lady.
I just imagine you go to that lake one night, the next person that's, I don't know, like maybe the direct descendant of like King Arthur or some shit, whatever in the fuck he's doing in Valmont. He might just go by that swamp. Dirty Sally's kind of like the lady of the lake now.
Yeah.
He just walks by. She just comes rise out of the lake dressed in silver and throws like a tin can at him.
A rusted baseball bat or something.
Now go forth down Airport Road and beat all the meth heads to death. Man on a mission. Ooh. But that was
also, I do remember at one point, it was our mutual friend at the time. Our mutual friend at the time, Justin Purdue, came over and we were walking around and she was cussing him for some reason, but she fucking shit herself when she got worked up and shit herself. And she just like did the little like saggy bottom waddle away.
Oh man. Oh, that's terrible. We're probably, if hell's real, we're going there.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like
she could have behaved herself. I mean, if she had enough know how to go around and collect cans, she had enough know how to take a fucking bath, I guess.
Yeah, and she didn't have to be a prick to everybody. And like the way she would insult you, like it never was insulting. Like I don't know, it's just random cuss words almost. And just stereotypical. You damn little kids,
eat fuck. You're doing better in life than me. Eat fuck.
Yeah,
essentially. But I guess that's the true tale of old Dirty Sally.
Godspeed, Dirty Sally. Godspeed.
Some say that before it rains, you can still hear her walking down flights of cans. To her luxurious outdoor bathing house. Fuck, we're terrible people.
Yeah, we are. But
okay.
She's a terrible person too, so whatever.
It all equals out in the wash.
Yeah.
Or does it?
I mean, if it had been around back then, we probably would have donated some Dick Bit corn dogs to her.
I'm pretty sure you could get those on EBT. Yes. That's kind of like dustpan cigarettes. Like, we made all these Marlboros. 30 of them fell on the floor. They got dirt and rat hair on them. Just slap them in a box and call them Boaz. It's like, it'll work. People will buy them. It's time for the question of the week.
Yeah.
Last week's question was, what kind of crazy story from your hometown?
Yeah. What true tales happened in your hometown? And we only got 2 answers, which I understand. I posted a late. Plus, it's not a short, quick answer like most people are prone to do on Facebook. But see, Mike gave us a bit of an answer, and we got a call. All right, Mike says, I'm disappointed that my hometown of Terrell, Texas, isn't bringing any stories to mind. It is the home of the State Mental Hospital, largest mental institution that side of the Mississippi for a very long time. I like that you use that term.
Yeah.
It's very southern of you. We had Chuck Norris as a cop, and Jamie Foxx came from Terrell. I'm assuming that's how to say it's Terrell. One of the guys I knew as a classmate from kindergarten to high school killed 5 people in one night in his own death row. Nice. And an unrelated...
Wow.
Yeah, we were just talking about people we went to school with too before this.
Yeah. They didn't kill anything except their own hygiene.
Yeah. And an unrelated incident, the Pizza Hut... Oh, shit, hold on. Okay, here it goes. In an unrelated incident, the Pizza Hut I used to work at closed down after a triple homicide there, and that franchise refuses to open a new store in our ghetto-ass town. We had a well-known crackhead named Mary. We had a similar tricycle guy like what you talked about in a previous show. We had a black dude in a cowboy getup that would walk everywhere he went. We had one of those with a tire cowboy hat.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, that's another true tale for Alabama at a later date.
You'd always see him in town. Nice guy. Rumor had it he was rich and just walked around all the time in that cowboy get up, even though he could be on the beach somewhere living it up. Probably not true. He might have been playing that Pokemon Go before it came out.
He also had a time machine.
Yeah, 20-year beta tester.
That's the best kind of beta tester there is.
Darryl is home to a well-known, renowned haunted house called Verdun Manor. That's where I met my wife. I was a zombie and she was a vampire. Good times. That place had a lion as a pet when I was a kid. That's almost like the fucking Sportsman's Lake. That was the saddest fucking
I mean, everybody's like, man, they got monkeys. And we'd get up there and look at them and like, oh, they're all emaciated.
Yeah, they had a bear kept in like a dog kennel.
I'm pretty sure all of them died. That's why they got rid of the zoo.
I wouldn't doubt it.
If I had a bed made out of my own shit, I'd die too.
Yeah, that was sad. Like, I remember being a child and being like, this is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You know, normally a child would not, realize that, but it was that bad. As a child, I'm like, I feel bad for this. I just remember that bear just looking at me like it wanted to hang itself. It was there.
Silly old bear.
Yeah. It was during the one flinching for Kill Me.
My God, he's trying to say something.
Other than that stuff, nothing really comes to mind about super crazy stuff from my hometown. But yeah, that's still cool. You got some minor folklore going on there.
We also got a call from Mike.
Yeah. Well, do Bills. Bills is related to the question.
Okay. So Mike's isn't. These aren't?
Yeah, Bills is the question.
Hey guys, it's Bill. So I got a funny story for you that goes with your, true stories of Alabama section there. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie How High.
Several times.
That's the movie with Redman and Method Man, and Mike Epps is in it, and his character is Baby Powder. He's a pimp, and before he pimp slaps somebody, he would say, come on with it, and his guy would pour baby powder on his hand, and he would slap him. So I'm downtown Chicago one day with a bunch of buddies. There's this homeless guy. He would randomly walk up to you and go, come on with it. And there was a lot of people walking around with white handprints on their ass because they wouldn't respond correctly, so he would slap them in the ass. So if you would say, let it fly, after he said, come on with it, he would just hand you a little trial-sized thing of baby powder and tell you, have a nice day. I thought it was hilarious. He would go up to the side repeatedly just because it was so goddamn funny. But yeah, so that's my true story from Chicago.
I'd like to find that guy in Chicago.
Yeah. Guy knows how to party.
Hell yeah. He's out there slapping asses right now at fucking 6 in the morning, whatever it is there.
This day and age, you can't get away with that shit.
Fuck no. You even look at a girl's ass now, it's sexual harassment.
Yeah. Unless you got a six-pack and they're shirtless, then it's okay.
Yeah, if you're Chris Hemsworth, scope out all the coos you want.
Yeah.
We got a couple more calls.
Yep.
Mike gave us a call.
Do we want to go ahead and come up with another question?
Yeah. Retro gamers, especially if you grew up in the 90s, all knew about the retro wars and stuff. And we're not saying they're back, because they're not. But if you do recall that time, you probably were forced to pick a side at one point. And a lot of you, probably your parents chose your side for you, assuming.
Which means they probably chose Sega.
Yeah. So that's the question of the week. Were you a Nintendo or Sega kid? And why?
Was it the games? Was it the prices?
Was it the blast processing of the Sega Genesis?
Yeah. Was it that Toad from the Sega? Was it the RPGs of Super Nintendo?
Was it Paul Rudd selling the fuck out of that Super Nintendo in that early commercial?
Was it just sheer dumb luck that that's what your parents found on sale?
Was it the fact that they put Super in front of the word Nintendo that was key selling point? Or Genesis, you know? A little side note, we used to go to a school with a kid. You know how all little kids lie just about shit. I remember this kid had a Sega Genesis. I didn't know anybody else that had a Genesis. I'll tell you the name later. But he used to tell me that Sega Genesis mounted onto the wall. And I don't know where he got that, but I went for like fucking 5 or 6 months thinking like, man, that's crazy. That's why everybody's buying those. You can mount them to the wall. That's unheard of. And now I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Like, why would you do that? But, yeah.
So you can rip your drywall off while you're trying to take out a cartridge.
Yeah, no shit. Good luck getting one of them big-ass, like, reverse engineering NBA games out.
Yeah, or you set your house on fire because you put a 32X on there.
Yeah, I can imagine trying to mount a Sega CD, that bitch, and, like, play it. It just constantly skips. You're like, I can't figure this out. It's supposed to mount on the
pulls
goddamn
up
wall.
And the disc flies out and eviscerates somebody.
You ever seen Hellraiser 3? That disc jockey gets turned into a Cinnabot and he just shoots CDs out of that disc tray. It looks like Kung Lao's hat just slices somebody's head in half. Fatality. Sega Genesis wins. But there's your question of the week. Now, we got a couple calls to answer before we close this evening out. We'll do Mike's first, because I'm curious about this other one.
Again, that number is 682-777-GOOD, 682-777-4663.
Mike's call.
Hey, good old gamers. I just don't want the vaginas to turn to stone or anything.
They did.
Some
Thank you.
good Steam sales going on right now. You got Wolfenstein, the new Doom, lots of IPs out there. Quake 4, Fallout games. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not ended by the time this airs. Well, see you later.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's actually better sales going on than the big summer sale. Like Doom is 50% off right now. I think I'm going to pick it up for $30. That's about what I wanted to spend on it. It's pretty good considering how new Doom is.
Oh yeah,
50% off on that, and it's all lasting until the weekend. So when you hear this, they will still be on sale.
I'll probably pick a couple games up. I got my card loaded. I've been eyeballing a few things.
I got the hot and steamy thing going. I'm not supposed to be buying anything, but half off Doom, it's hard to pass that up.
Doom don't really have to count as a hot and steamy game though. Neither, that's just Steam's just the platform, we'll say.
Yeah,
for that, anyways. Our next call comes from Mr. X 1985-1.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome. I would like to play a game, Lol. Can you figure out who this is? You think you know me, but do you really? Here's the first clue. You do know my name. Sitting there all smug in your red throne chair at your card table. Thinking, I know this guy. I know him. Me outside the window, licking my own ass.
Well, it's obviously, what's the dude from fucking Inspector Gadget's name?
Fuck, I can't remember that guy's name.
I'll get you, Gadget. Yes! What was that dude's name? Dr. Claw.
Yeah, you only saw his hand and not the cat.
And the cat. He's always stroking his cat. Well, thank you, Dr. Claw, for calling in. See, I am smart. Like,
nailed it.
Sitting all smug at my card table. Fuck you, you're stroking a cat right now. Like, sitting smug in your big black chair. Go, I'll get you, Gadget. You know what? How about you? How about you just come on down here and get my nuts? See, I do know you. I do know you very well. Bag of dicks, eat it.
Bag of dicks, eat it.
I can't do it anymore.
I'll get you a gadget. I love that. That was brilliant.
That gives me some ideas later on. We might have to get Dr. Claw to do a sponsor for us. Oh, thanks for the call, the call. Well, thanks for the call, Mr. X 1985-1, Dr. Claw. Let us know when you finally get Gadget. But thanks for the call. Yeah. Maybe I can figure it out at some point. Whatever Dr. Claw's alias is. But it's too early. I'm fucking delirious at this point.
That worked in your favor. I think you nailed it instantly.
I'm glad. That was fucking funny. That was a great way to close it down. You can find us on goodoldgamers.com. Find us on our Facebook, Good Old Gamers Podcast. You know the drill. Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, blah, blah, blah.
Like, subscribe,
Google Play,
review.
Google
Like,
Play.
subscribe, review. Like, subscribe, review.
Keep telling yourself it's only a podcast. Like, subscribe, review. Keep telling yourself it's only a podcast. Like, subscribe, review.
Don't forget, give us suggestions on the Patreon.
Indeed.
If you think it's a good idea, if you think it's a horrible idea, whatever.
Fling feces at us digitally.
Yeah.
Whatever you gotta do.
Be a true citizen of the internet. Unleash your inner YouTube comment.
Be your keyboard warrior. Find thy ability and be thy warrior. Shit, that's it.
Yeah.
That is it, dude.
We're done.
It's 5:30. I've got to go to bed.
I gotta go to work.
I gotta go to... Oh, god damn it. I'm gonna sleep and wake up and immediately go to work. And I'm just like, oh, god damn it. Well, until next week. Game over, man.
Game over.